Among the oldest of Earth's creatures, sea turtles have traveled the oceans for 100 million years. These ancient voyagers, contemporaries of the dinosaurs, have outlasted their reptilian cousins as well as thousands of other species. Slow to mature, these air-breathing marine creatures travel great distances, benefiting from and interacting with virtually every element of the marine and coastal environment during their life cycle. Likely reaching ages of 100 years or more, their talent for survival and their unique niche within marine ecosystems makes them important indicators of the health of the oceans and the planet. Sea turtles play a critical role in our world. While they spend most of their time at sea, females crawl ashore, dig holes in the sand, and deposit the precious eggs that will become tomorrow's sea turtles. Then they once again return to the sea, leaving their offspring to fight for survival alone. This ritual is performed over and over again on tropical beaches around the world. It has only been in the last few centuries, a mere blink in geological time, that the sea turtle's ability to survive has been in question. In this century alone, populations of many sea turtle species have declined at alarming rates. Renowned conservation biologist Dr. Archie Carr made this discovery when he began to study sea turtles in the early 1950s. His research led him to Tortuguero, Costa Rica, where he discovered the nesting site for the largest remaining colony of green turtles in the Western Hemisphere. At the time, this important green turtle population was being harvested at an alarming rate. Sea Turtle Conservancy Executive Director David Godfrey explains.
Well, when Archie Carr first made his way to Tortuguero in the mid-1950s, what he found was really sort of the Wild West. People could harvest green turtles and their eggs at will, and they were by the hundreds, if not thousands. There was a whole economy based on the extractive use of green turtles. And he learned, through studying this and understanding the life history of these animals, that they would be wiped off the planet if something wasn't done.
His early work in Costa Rica laid the foundation for sea turtle conservation and helped found the organization now known as the Sea Turtle Conservancy. Over 60 years later, STC's research extends worldwide, wherever sea turtles are found, in Florida, Bermuda, Costa Rica, Panama, Cuba, the West Indies, and elsewhere in the Caribbean, and benefits all 7 species. The John H. Phipps Biological Field Station in Tortuguero, ground zero for international sea turtle research and conservation, is the home of one of the most renowned research and training programs for aspiring biologists. Every nesting season, an elite team of hand-picked international biologists come here to do intense work in the field, hone their skills, learn more about sea turtles, and collect critical data. These research volunteers head out into the night during nesting season to systematically search the beach, locating females as they go about the task of digging their nest and laying eggs. They measure, assess the health, and tag each female they encounter. They mark the nests and conduct surveys once they hatch to determine the hatchling productivity. STC also hosts an eco-volunteer program that allows committed turtle enthusiasts to live alongside the biologist and get hands-on experience participating with the research here and at their research station in the Bocas del Toro region of Panama. The research conducted in Panama includes intensive monitoring of hawksbill and leatherback nesting, as well as equipping sea turtles with satellites for tracking purposes. The use of satellite monitoring has yielded a treasure trove of data that has helped inform where sea turtles travel, forage, and nest.
Sea turtles spend maybe 1% of their lives on land. So we really need to know what's happening at sea and where they're going and what they're encountering when they go there.
Every year, STC equips turtles with satellite transmitters as part of their Tour de Turtles program. and holds live and virtual public release events to educate the public. With help from dedicated sponsors and partners, the Tour de Turtles follows the marathon migration of different species of sea turtles, from their nesting beaches to their foraging grounds. Learning where turtles live and forage offshore has become a new area of focus. Off the Big Bend region of Florida in the Gulf of Mexico, STC has begun researching juvenile green turtles who inhabit the extensive grass flats along this coastline. Gathering important data about the quality of the habitat, their seasonal movements, foraging behavior, diet, health, and genetic structure will further unlock the mysteries about these creatures and help STC advocate for laws to reduce threats and protect sensitive areas. Dozens of other research, rehabilitation, and education projects are funded each year with the support of the Sea Turtle Grants Program administered by STC. Funded by a portion of revenues from Florida's Sea Turtle Specialty License Plate, this program has distributed more than $6.5 million and contributes to other organizations and universities doing important work to save the species. The Sea Turtle Conservancy's education efforts are far-reaching too. Along with training biologists in Tortuguero, Panama, and Bermuda, STC works internationally to promote ecotourism, replacing the incentive to harvest turtles and their eggs. They educate tourists and coastal communities about the life cycle of sea turtles and oversee a comprehensive guided turtle walk program in Tortuguero. Local permitted guides and turtle spotters work together to provide visitors a close, personal experience observing the nesting process with as little disturbance to the turtles as possible. These turtle walks regulate the number of people allowed on the beach during nesting hours and maintain guidelines for observing the nesting process while valuable research occurs.
We have to give people the facts. We have to let them know why sea turtles are unique, why they're important, what they do for us, what they do for the marine environment. So education is the way to do that. So we've developed programs for teachers to use in the classroom, really innovative online programs where people can track animals that we're tracking by satellite for scientific reasons to learn about their migrations and the threats they're encountering as they move around the world. They're fascinated by that, and in the process, they're learning.
Along the east coast of Florida, the STC manages and conducts the educational programs at the Barrier Island Center located in the Archie Carr National Wildlife Refuge. It's home to the most important sea turtle nesting habitat in the United States, with more loggerheads nesting each year within the refuge and adjacent beaches than anywhere else in the world. These kind of learning opportunities extend worldwide, too, through online events. Live streaming in classrooms allow turtle lovers everywhere to participate and discover more about this fascinating species. And STC works with coastal residents, businesses, conservationists, and governments to increase awareness of the threats facing sea turtles, including coastal development, poaching, animal predation, the use of fishing nets, and water and light pollution. STC has become known as the go-to resource for best coastal lighting practices. Their extensive sea turtle lighting program educates coastal communities about the impacts of artificial light on nesting beaches, and their retrofit program helps beachfront properties convert to sea turtle-friendly lighting, a win-win solution that saves thousands of hatchlings each year. STC also conducts code enforcement workshops to improve compliance with local lighting rules and sets up traveling educational displays to spread the word. STC's research and education programs propel their tireless advocacy efforts and have made a huge impact on sea turtle survival rates throughout the world. Working with countries on laws that govern land and sea use, regulate wildlife trade, and ensure resource protection, STC has provided these majestic creatures with a voice and a future. From promoting good coastal management practices and fighting international trade, to regulating commercial fisheries and protecting sensitive areas from offshore drilling, STC is actively involved in influencing policy and public opinion. Representatives from STC regularly provide research data and testimony to governments and wildlife officials on issues affecting sea turtles and their habitat, and has become a trusted source of fact-based information for lawmakers, conservationists, and the worldwide media about threats and initiatives to ensure sea turtle survival.
Archie knew that in order to save sea turtles, they need somebody on their side. And that's what our organization does. We don't just study them. We take the science and let that guide our advocacy for them. We work with governments all around the world to put in place laws that protect these animals and their habitats. And the way that we're able to encourage them to do the right thing is by having the science to back up what we're saying. Your chance to make a difference is to join this organization. Everything we do depends on the generous support of people like you.
You can help continue the Sea Turtle Conservancy's important work by making a donation, adopting a turtle, becoming a member, or participating as an eco-volunteer. Your involvement and support will help save this magnificent species for future generations.